A bill limiting the governor's emergency powers is now sitting on the governor's desk. The question is, will he sign it or veto it?
That bill approved after House and Senate Republican leaders reached a deal on their centerpiece issue for this special session. So what's next? Three's on the Street, Amon Boyd in Baton Rouge with the story.
Although the bill did pass on Tuesday night, there's still a lot of unknowns on what happens next. When the bill does reach Governor Edwards' desk, Republicans hope that he does consider an exchange of power.
No one contemplated being in a 7-month pandemic when they drafted the original statutes.
Senate President Paige Cortez says the current emergency declaration laws are outdated. That's why he says Republican lawmakers are working on these new measures.
I will be meeting with them over the next day or two to find out their thoughts on the bill. One of the things I'll say is the bill does give authority to the legislature to end a health emergency or fail to renew it if they find that the emergency or the governor is acting outside of his authority.
During his monthly radio show, Governor John Bel Edwards says he's not sold on the bill.
Looking for an opportunity to invite those people into being part of the decision-making process. I will continue to make my decisions based on science and recommendations. I will share the data that I'm looking at with the legislature and everybody else, as I always have.
If the bill is vetoed by the governor, both houses would need a supermajority to override that veto.
They would need to get 70 votes, and if they were able to get the 70 votes, then it would come to the Senate for the Senate to override. And we have 39 members. We need 26, or 2/3 vote of both houses to override a governor's veto.
If this bill takes tools out of the toolbox that I believe are essential to properly managing a public health emergency, it's not going to meet with my approval.
The session will resume on Wednesday, and it must adjourn by October 27th. Three's on the Street in Baton Rouge. Amon Boyd, KATC TV3.
Here's Bradley's 24-hour forecast.
And we officially hit 87 degrees this afternoon here in Lafayette, a solid 7 degrees above normal, so certainly not feeling like fall here across Acadiana. Temperatures this evening back into the lower and mid 70s. We got 74 in Lake Charles, 74 in Jennings, 73 in Opelousas, same here in Lafayette. So here we go, rolling it through into tomorrow morning. We'll start off on the quiet side. Some patchy fog will be possible, and then as we head through the course of the afternoon, we will see some clouds start to build and a few isolated storms getting going with the heating of the day. Tomorrow afternoon will hold rain chances at around 30%, and then most of that looks to quiet down once we lose the heating of the day tomorrow evening. So low temperatures mid to upper 60s into tomorrow morning, and again some patchy fog possible, partly cloudy skies through tomorrow afternoon with rain chances at around 30%. So coming up, we'll track rain chances and temperatures for the rest of the week, and we'll take a look at the weekend forecast.
All right, Bradley, thanks. A bill that would pull state funding from cities that defund police departments is headed to the full Senate. The Senate Finance Committee approved an amended version of the bill by a 5-4 vote. The amended bill calls for the state to pull funding for cities that slash police spending by 25% instead of the original 10%. Lafayette Senator Gerald Boudreaux says the bill could violate the state constitution's home rule provision. Senator Boudreaux also says the state should focus on finding the money to fully fund police, fire, and public works.
We have cities within this state that are reducing their public works budget, and drainage has killed people. Drainage has knocked people off of the rocker because they continue to flood some areas over and over again. So my position is, if we're going to look at police and let's take it out at the national level, and we're Louisiana elected officials, then I'd say the same thing. And then why not the fire department? We have municipalities who, because of their budget restrictions and limitations, are going to lay off firemen.
Paris by Paris headlines. We begin in Lafayette, where some residents are demanding a return of park police. About a half dozen people attended a meeting at the J. Carlton James Activity Center to discuss this issue. They say park police could have stopped the party in Moore Park last week that ended with a deadly shooting.
And we're asking, demanding that the park police be brought back to Lafayette Parish and the city. That it be put back in the budget and it remains a part of Parks and Recreation.
Meanwhile, the former park police chief says his officers did work after traditional business hours, contrary to what an LCG spokesman said. Oscar Benoit tells our partners at The Advocate some of his officers worked from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m., while others worked from 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. Benoit also said his officers routinely worked overtime. The LCG spokesman told the paper he was misinformed and erroneously said Park police shifts ended at 5 p.m.
New information in a deadly shooting in St. Mary Parish. Baldwin police say the victim's husband is facing a second-degree murder charge. Sonny LeBlanc Sr. is accused of shooting Sandra LeBlanc at a home on Newman Street. LeBlanc Sr. is in the parish jail tonight.
Say his name. TJ! Mother hasn't heard from him in 3 days. Say his name. TJ! No justice.
Those protesters claiming police brutality and demanding answers. The Acadia Parish Sheriff's Office says TJ Yoakum was wanted on domestic violence warrants and ran from deputies and was injured when he was tased. Sheriff KP Gibson says the incident is under investigation and review because Yoakum's injuries required a hospital visit. Now, that outburst was one of several that happened during Tuesday night's Crowley City Council meeting. A debate about the city's budget got so heated that the mayor called in the police chief to try to settle things down.
The mayor, as presiding officer of the council, has to give me the direction. I will keep the peace. I'll try, and I've done it a couple of times, with a couple of councilmen, kind of slight tap, but the mayor's the one to officially say remove them, and at that point I have to do what the mayor instructs.
Funeral services are now set for former Lafayette attorney Lane Roy. Roy died Saturday night at the age of 75. Visitation will take place from 4 until 8 at Delome Funeral Home in Lafayette, and the funeral will take place Saturday at 12:30 at St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church in Grand Coteau.
In Acadia Parish, FEMA mobile registration intake centers open tomorrow. They'll operate tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday from 9 until 4:30 at Crowley Church of Christ and at Esterwood Park. Those centers will serve as points of information and registration for victims of Hurricanes Laura and Delta. In Opelousas, mosquito spraying operations are now underway. The flights will happen twice a week for the next 2 weeks. They'll happen between 6 and 11 on scheduled nights. And to see the city's schedule, just check their Facebook page. Coming up, we'll meet the candidates for 16th Judicial District Attorney. That story coming up at 10:20.
But first, Bradley's full forecast. You're watching Acadiana's News Channel at 10 o'clock.
Forecast. Here's KATC meteorologist Bradley Benoit.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, warmer temperatures continuing across Acadiana through the rest of this week. Best rain chances tomorrow and Friday, but they'll be coming back down as we head through the course of the weekend. We'll break it all down here in just a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the bigger picture here. And again, high pressure continues to be off into the mid-Atlantic, but we continue to see that east-southeasterly flow at the surface across the region, and that's kept things on the warmer side the last couple of days. In fact, we officially hit 87 degrees here in Lafayette this afternoon. So if you're looking for that extension of summer, hey, maybe this weather is for you. But if you're looking for fall, we are going to have to wait a little while longer. Now, that high off to our east will start to weaken tomorrow, and that's going to allow for a few more showers to develop into tomorrow and Friday afternoon. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. But first, I wanted to switch gears to the